Alright guys, we have arrived. We made it to this lumber place, literally in the middle of the damn woods. Here in Massachusetts somewhere, I forgot the town, but Hardwick Killings. There's the receivers. Alright, let's take a look. Let's try to figure out where we go check in at. Take it from there. Check in with this guy here. Alright guys, give me a few moments. Let me go figure this out. We made it to our pickup over here in New Hampshire. About to get, this is a 2-pick, so I'm picking up here, and then I'm picking up the other one going south to Massachusetts. So they're gonna put the first half here, the next half over there, and then I tarp the lumber out there. So yeah, we're here guys, we finally made it, and about to get loaded now. So let's see how quickly we can get this done. Appreciate you guys. See you in a little bit. We just finished getting loaded with the first pick. So we just did the first half of the trailer, and now we're gonna go to the second pickup, and the second pickup will be taking probably, obviously, the rest of the space here. Shouldn't be much more left, but yeah, I did 3 straps on this one here over the top, 2 straps for here, 2 straps for the top deck, and now we let's go guys, let's go to that second pick, man. Let's go to Massachusetts, get that second pick, and we'll get up out of here. Let me see, where do I open this at? I think it's over here. Oh. Yes sir, get out of here. Alright guys, let's get up out of here, man. How we looking at here? See you in a bit. We are here, getting loaded at the second stop, second pick for the day. We're gonna fill in the rest of these. So we got going on up here. Thank God, because I thought I was gonna have to rearrange the front for them to fit everything, but he said he could just put the rest in the back and we're good. It's not heavy, the rest, so we should be good guys. So after this we gotta finish the strapping, and then we gotta tarp this bad boy. So let's see, let's check in a little bit. All right guys, we all done, man. Sheesh, got it tarped up, both picks covered up with the tarp. Hey guys, don't judge my tarp game, man. It's this load, you know, tarping a load with a bunch of different levels is always a pain in the butt. But especially it's harder to tarp also on the step deck because of the once you lower, once you got the top level and the bottom level, it's always going to be not leveled out. So yeah, it's tough on the step deck, but either way we make it happen, man. You know, not the perfect tarp, but we got everything covered up, got the lumber covered, everything good to go. Everybody already left out of here, man. Everybody left. I'm the last man in here. All the employees are like, hey, come sign the paper before you start tarping, because we're trying to get out of here. I was like, man, listen, you know, trying to get up out of here. So you see the different levels on this though? There's so many gaps and levels. I had to climb up there and tarp everything. I almost fell down like 5 times in between all the gaps. But yeah, man, it's where we at. So yeah, guys, let's head on down the road, and let's head to the house, man. Let's head to North Carolina. See you in a bit. All right, guys, we are stopped for the day. We are stopped here in North Carolina. Still didn't have I only had 2 hours left to drive. I mean, yeah, 2 hours to our destination, but we ran out of hours, so we stopped for the day. But we stopped in this cool little truck stop here. Let's see what they got inside, man. I'm a little hungry. And by hungry, I mean a little thirsty. Let me see what they got going on over here. They got a little water, little juice. I'm hungry and thirsty. Let's see. See, got the wifey on the phone out here right now. Say hi to YouTube, man. You don't want to say hi?
Hi.
There we go. Yeah, guys. Let's see how I've never been to this truck stop before. This is in, where we are right now. This truck stop, this is the 85 Truck Plaza in Henderson, North Carolina. Let's see how it's looking inside of here, guys. Oh, this spot's kind of cool though. Got the little gambling going on out here. Yeah. What's going on, boss? It's kind of cool in here. Oh, they even got a haircut spot. This is mad cool. Nice. Yeah, this is a nice truck stop. Let's try to see what kind of food they got up in here.
I'm not gonna mess with you because she's being a baby. She just wants to say F me all day.
All right, guys, we'll figure this out. All right, guys, we are home. We are home, man. Well, I just, leaving the truck here for a few minutes. Just had to go home real quick, pick something up that I'm bringing back in the truck. I couldn't walk with it, but I'm gonna just go pick it up from the house and then come bring it in the truck, and then bring the truck on over to the truck stop. But right now we're just gonna walk on to the house, take a nice little stroll, and then just go from there. But that's how, whenever I'm home and I'm just stopping for a sec, I just leave the truck right there for a few minutes and then hop right back into it. But yeah, guys, see you at the crib. Home sweet home. Let's get to it. Look at this, man. Teenage drivers. What we gonna do? What the heck is that? Okay, socks. What the knick-knack? What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? What you doing? What you doing? What you doing, buddy? Good boy, good boy, good boy. I gotta greet him outside because he gets so excited that he pees like that. He gets like little pee excitement, but only with me though. I don't know why he only does that. What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? He only does that with me. He don't do that with nobody else. So I gotta like greet him when I come up. He gotta be outside for me to greet him. Come on, boy. Alright guys, see you in a little bit. What's going on over here? We're back in the truck. We got some guest passengers. Hold on, Gumbo.
And me! And me. Here is the truck. I'm be a passenger today. Here we go. This is me. Actually, this is not me. I made it for Angel. This is Sayer. That's Sky. That's my mom. That's Angel and Sky. That's his parents. That's me and Angel. And this is my picture.
What's up, buddy?
This is my mom and dad. This is me. This is my sister and my dad. And this is my mom and dad.
Roll out. Seatbelt check. You got on your seatbelt? What's up, boy? You ready to roll out too? All right, guys. Let's go park the truck, man. Cause you know I can't just leave the truck here parked in front of the housing complex. We gotta go park it at the truck stop. So we're ready to roll out. All right, guys. Let's start making moves. See you in a little bit. What's up, guys? What's up, boy? You liking the ride? Yeah, I got fun, man. Oh, man. We're almost here. 2 minutes away from the truck stop, guys. Let's park up and chill out for the weekend. Have us some nice little barbecue. Right, boy? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, guys. Say hi to the people. Go ahead. How you say it?
Breaker, breaker.
Yeah, breaker, breaker. Like that, girl. Stop playing. Go ahead. Breaker, 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 breaker. Where you guys at? What you guys up to? Breaker, breaker, 1, 2. What's up, boy? You want to say something too? Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Breaker, breaker. Oh, oh, oh.
Why you play with the dude like that? Everybody in this truck shop can hear us.
Mm-hmm.
Like in their trucks?
Yeah, it's a CB radio. So whoever has one of those on their truck, they can hear us right now. What's up, buddy?
Breaker, breaker, hello.
There you go. All right, let's go, guys. Your mama waiting for us. We got to get up out of here.
Where?
Yeah.
Let's play that man. Let's play that man. Let's play that man. Look, Angel, look at all these tricks I can do. You ready?
How you do that? Ooh, oh, oh, there, girl.
Look. Whee,
Doggy, doggy.
Angel, look.
All right, guys.
See?
On the trampoline.
Go ahead, girl.
People don't play with it.
Go ahead, girl. Get to it. Look at her. She's on her own YouTube, on her little podcast. What's she doing over there? Yeah.
That's not YouTube. I'm on the phone.
Oh.
Can you scoot that over?
Alright. Let's see what we're doing out here, guys.
Can you scoot that over?
Go ahead. You the one with it. You gotta move it to the wheel. Put my hands on it. You gotta move it yourself, girl. That's part of being the person grilling. There you go. Good job, good morning. What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? What are you doing over there?
You want to try this?
What's going on, guys? What's going on? Let's take a moment out. I'm in my wifey's in her office. You know, this is her office. That's why it looks all nice and fancy and stuff. You know, my office is in a truck. You know, we have a mobile ride around office. So, but sometimes, you know, I told her I'm gonna start borrowing her office when I want to make videos, showcasing the load board and different load options and stuff. So I'm gonna show you guys. I'm on my phone. I'm recording, but I'm also gonna show it on screen capture with you guys. Excuse me. Pretty much the CRST load board. Excuse me. How it's set up. What load I'm on, and we're gonna look for some loads. Let's search up some loads, and also, you know, I utilize both load boards. I do the CRST load board, but then I also pay. I have a separate subscription for the DAT load board. So I do mixture of both. Like I've said before, sometimes I'll do 5 CRST loads in a row. Then I'll sprinkle 2 or 3 DAT loads. Then I'll come and I'll do a couple of CRST loads. Then I'll have a whole month of just straight doing DAT load board. You know, when I was doing flatbed, I was 90% of my loads I got from CRST, because CRST mainly has straight flatbed loads. After switching over to Stepdeck, you know, CRST has some Stepdeck specific loads, but primarily straight flatbed loads. So when I, you know, as I want to gain more Stepdeck experience and haul more Stepdeck specific freight, meaning taller freight, most of my Stepdeck loads I actually end up getting it from the DAT load board. And then here and there, CRC would have a specific Stepdeck load that's needed to be hauled, and I'll jump on one of those. But primarily, I do DAT loads now with the Stepdeck. So let's take a look. Let me take a look here how we do this. All right, perfect, guys. So let's take a look. So I'm recording myself, but I'm also gonna show you guys a load board on a separate screen. So right now, this is the CRC app. This is how it looks. You know, that's the load I'm on right now. This is the load that I picked up. Remember, this is the 2 pick, 1 drop. So I picked up in New London, New Hampshire, and then I did the second pickup over in Hardwick, Massachusetts, and then that's what got me home to North Carolina. So I'm dropping this off to Sophia, North Carolina, which is about an hour from my house. So we'll, you know, first thing in the morning, we'll get up and we'll get this over to Sophia and get unloaded. And then I got the next load that'll bring me back up to New Hampshire. I run a lot of East Coast, Northeast, all the way to New Hampshire, Maine. I'll run back down. I even do Florida here and there, but I mainly stay on the East Coast because I do regional home every weekend. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at the load board, guys. So if we look at the load board, I mean, today is Sunday, so we'll take a look at some loads for tomorrow and throughout the week. Right now it says there are 608 available loads as of this moment. So let's start the search. Let me put my phone on silent, man, because people are gonna just keep doing all of that stuff. I'll figure that out. They're gonna keep hitting me up. But start new search. So let's say right around here, right where I'm at, you know, let's say within a 300-mile radius. So right now I am, let's just put Charlotte, because I'm only about 30 miles out of Charlotte, North Carolina, for tomorrow pickup, let's say. Lowest estimated deadhead. So these are the different settings that we have here. You know, this is the date, This is where we want to go. Let's take a look here. Flatbed. Everything's flatbed. They don't have like flatbed and step deck. It's just flatbed, van, reefer. We don't select. We just leave it on the flatbed. And these are the total rate. We just leave everything as is, 0, 0, any. Everything is solo. There's no team here, for at least on the flatbed side. Soonest date available. So I was either pick lowest estimated deadhead or highest total rate. Let's go with the highest total rate. Show results. So right now, you know, I put 300-mile radius from Charlotte. So 300 miles in any direction. Highest paying load. So what's the highest paying load within 300 miles of Charlotte for pickup tomorrow? So let's take a look. We have Georgia. You know, Georgia's always gonna be, you know, they always have pretty decent freight. Trenton, Georgia, going to Greeley, Colorado. $4,200 all in on 1,284 miles. So that gives you $3.27 per mile on the load. So, you know, you pick it up Monday, you know, by Thursday, you'll drop it off. Now, you know, I myself don't take loads out to Colorado. I kind of just stay within the East Coast, just because of that. Like, there's no loads coming out of Colorado. Does that mean you'll get stuck out there? So this is why I say utilize all your resources. Based on CRST's load board, there's nothing. There's no reloads within 300 miles. But if I hop on a DAT load board, they might have some loads there as well. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's do it. Let's get on the DAT. This is the DAT right here. So let's put, where is it? Greeley. It was two E's, L-E-Y. Greeley, Colorado. Vans, no. So when we filter this, I go to only flatbed or step deck, and then step deck only or step deck or RGN. Those are the filters. Those are the 3 filters. And this is for, let's see what they got for Wednesday, let's say. Okay, so look at this. From Greeley, Colorado, so I'm able to get a load from Aurora, Colorado to Dolores, Colorado. So it's within Colorado, 430 miles, paying $1,300, so it's $3.02. So, you know, I could easily take that load and just kind of bounce around a little bit within Colorado until I decide to get out and come back elsewhere. But these are the things where I say you utilize your resources, because remember, based on CRST load board, there was no loads. But that's when you have your external load boards to help you connect dots. If, you know, just because CRST doesn't have any loads doesn't mean now you're gonna deadhead 400 or 500 miles to the next CRST load. You get what I'm saying? Utilize the DAT or truck stop or whatever other load board you utilize to connect the dots for you. Don't just stay stuck with deadhead because you either don't know or don't want to pay a subscription or only dependent on CRST loads. But let's go back to here. So back to the CRST load board. We have, you know, Virginia to Minnesota, 2,700. You know, Trenton, Georgia, Nebraska, 2,500. Pretty much most of the loads for tomorrow, you have a lot of Georgia loads as far as the top paying. Let's filter it out to lowest estimated deadhead. So if I want the closest thing within Charlotte, what we got? We got a little baby hop, $450 for 91 miles. So that's pretty much almost $5 per mile. But, you know, don't only go based on your dollars per mile, you know? What's up, man?
Hi.
Right. I'm out here doing a low board video.
Okay.
Lit? Good stuff. Don't only go based on dollar per mile, because look at that load. $5 per mile, $4.95 per mile. That's great, but how many miles are you getting? It's only 90-mile run. So you're making $450. And then CRST, they gotta take their 25% off of that. And then you gotta pay for a little fuel, you know. I mean, you still make decent money for a little hour and a half worth of work, but you're not making any money with that. So Charlotte, Greensboro, York, South Carolina, $800, $1,600 to Michigan. Overall, as you see, CRST has a lot of loads ranging from $2.50s and up, $3, $4, $5. Just depends on where you're going. But if you guys keep looking, I'm not gonna go through every load one by one, but you guys can see there what's available. Let me see if there's any other one that I will probably take. I already have a load for tomorrow after I drop off. The next load that I got it from the DAT. Is more equipment. I hold a lot of equipment. This equipment load is coming out of where's it coming? Coming right out of North Carolina, going back to New Hampshire. It's picking up at a Caterpillar, so probably a couple of tractors. Yeah, look at this one here, South Carolina to Lincolnton, North Carolina. That's pretty good. $5.31. 217 loaded miles. 1152. You got a tarp. So CRST, you gotta take 25% out of the line haul. Your fuel surcharge, you keep 100% of that, and your accessorials. So you keep 100% of your tarpon pay, and then you keep 75%. So CRST takes out 25% off of the stop pays. So that's a pretty decent load. And then look what's coming out of there. This is dropping off for Tuesday. These are the reloads for Tuesday, pretty good. I've done this load, KC, South Carolina to Cedarburg, Virginia. I've done that a few times. That's coming out of, I think it's called CMC or SMC. It's a rebar spot here in South Carolina, KC, South Carolina. I've done that a lot of times. Let's branch out a little bit. So sometimes I also like to look ahead and spread out. So I'll make like a 2-week search within 1,000 miles, and I'll pick, and then I'll filter by what's the highest paying load. So I want to see what is the highest paying load thus far on the CRST load board with a projection of the next 2 weeks, and then that's how sometimes I'll plan a load out like a week from now, because that load pays really good. So I'll book that load a week from now, and then I'll connect the dots and piece myself to make it over there in time. But if we're to do that, let's just say current location, I'll do the maximum allowed miles on the search, which is 1,000, and we'll do a date range. So from today to the 28th. So you could do about 2 weeks on the CRST load board, 2.5 weeks of projected loads coming up, and then we'll do highest total rate. So let's see what we got here. So we have Fulton, Mississippi to Stockton, California. I'm not trying to go over there. Not trying to go to Cali. Not trying to go to Colorado. Not trying to go to Montana. But this is only because I choose to be regional. I kind of flip-flop between regional and OTR. Sometimes I do stay out. Sometimes I don't. But I mainly try to stick around because I could actually make money sticking around the East Coast and being home on the weekends. But for me, it costs a little bit to do it because I run Northeast loads a lot, so I get hit with the tolls. But I'd rather pay the tolls to be home every weekend as opposed to going out super far where there are no tolls, but it's gonna take me 3 weeks to get back. So you get what I'm saying? Like, I kind of balance it out. So I do pay tolls, a lot of tolls, I guess, but I'm able to get me home every weekend for the most part. But if you see the load board share, we have a good amount of loads, 55, 4,000, 38. There's a lot of loads. Like a load like this, I would have took. See this one right here? If I was in the Alabama area, 3,100 for 883 miles. That's paying $3.51. Going up to Jersey, that's right up my alley because I could take that load to Jersey. And then from there, I could take another load. I could just hop right back to North Carolina, and I pretty much tend to average around maybe 7 to 8. Let's say $7 grand gross. I tend to do per week. Sometimes I do more, sometimes I do less. You know how it is. But staying in the East Coast, running Northeast loads, I tend to make around $7 grand per week on the gross. Obviously, From there, you gotta take the 25% out because CRST pays you 75% of the load. You gotta take your fuel out and all of that. But I managed to scrape by pretty decently running Northeast. But yeah, these are the loads they got here, guys. You know, I'm gonna try to make at least a video per week or maybe every other week, just showing you guys the load board, showcasing what loads are available, seeing what they got. And oh, this is a pretty good one. Look, this one here. Where's this? Let's look at the map here. Oh, this is coming from Canada. Oh man, so if you're in the Canada area, if you happen to cross, because CRC does have loads crossing Canada, if you happen to cross the Canada side and you need a load coming back out, look at that, from around the Toronto area over to what's it going to? Over to Virginia, you know, 2,900 on 592 miles. That's giving you about $4.90 per mile. Pretty good load. So this is what they got going on. Sometimes I also like to search from Houston, Texas. Let me see what they got. Same thing, same search. 5,500 is the top. What about if I happen to be in, let's say California, San Diego, California. If I'm on the West Coast and I'm doing this projections, let's see what the highest paying loads are within the next 2 weeks. Let's see what they got going on. Okay, so this is why, you know, I don't really go to the West Coast a lot. You know, $1.79 from Oregon to Georgia. You know, this one's pretty decent. Carson, California, going to Colorado, $4,000 on 1138 miles. Pretty decent. That's actually pretty good load. But look at these, man. This is why, man. California is disrespectful sometimes, man. $1.78, $1.82. Look at this. New Mexico, $1.87 per mile from New Mexico. From Albuquerque, New Mexico to Plant City, Florida. $3,200 for 1,700 miles, $1.87. Bro, that's disrespectful. That load, you should only take a load like that if you're out in New Mexico and you live in Florida and you have a dire emergency at home that you need to get home ASAP. Something's happening at home and you're gonna just forfeit your revenue, forfeit your profits. Hey, I need to get home. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes I've had to take $1 something a mile because I needed to get home, you know? But it's not something I would suggest to do ever, often, unless you have an emergency, because you will literally go out of business doing that. This is a pretty decent one, $2.86 per mile. California to Wyoming, you know. Again, I don't run the West Coast, man, because of the type of disrespect, man. Gardena, California to Houston, Texas, $1.98. California to Houston, Jesus Christ, $1.83. It's just disrespectful, man. That's why I stay where I stay. But don't get it wrong, man. Sometimes I go to the West Coast, man. Sometimes if they paying really good, I've had loads going from East Coast to West Coast paying, you know, 11, 12 grand within the CRST network from Prince George, Virginia over to California. If you guys know Prince George, they got the good loads over there, man. They got the good flatbed loads. But yeah, guys, you know, just feel free to pause the video and take a look. This is what they got. If you live in the West Coast, this is what you're dealing with. This is pretty good. Utah to Montana, you know, that's a pretty good load. I see that it's just like the East Coast, I guess. You know, if you stay within the East Coast, you can make your money up and down. If you stay within the West Coast, you can make your money up and down. But when you go across, that's when you start losing out some money. I think we stopped recording. Yep, we can stop recording. All right, guys, we're back. We're back up on the recording screen. But these are the load boards they got, man. So if you guys have any other questions about the CRST load board, I will start posting these videos a lot more, showing you guys the load board. And guys, don't sleep on a DAT, man. Don't sleep on a DAT. Let's just take a quick look here. I mean, listen, spot market freight, for the most part, they tend to suck. But you can catch a good spot market load here and there. You can. That's why I utilize all my resources. Let's say from here, let's say from Charlotte, let's take a look at the spot market. Charlotte, North Carolina, within 300 miles, flatbed or step deck or RGN. Let's see for tomorrow. Let's see what they got for tomorrow. Search loads. Okay, so I got it at the highest rate. So let's see. Landstar from North Carolina, Arizona, 49, $2.13. Nah, I'm not taking that. Absolutely not. What they saying it is. No tarp, chains are needed. Okay. Let's take a look. Let's filter it to rate highest rate per mile. Look at this bad boy. That's a pretty good one. $2,000 for 375 miles. So that's $5.33 per mile. But that's a step deck load. Let's see what they want for this. What they got going on. Oh yeah, I knew it. I knew it was gonna be a wide load. And I do a lot of oversized loads. I've done 14 wide. I've done 12 wide. I've done 10 wide. So I stay a little busy with the oversized load because of stuff like this. The oversized pays the best. You just gotta have your setup. You gotta have your flags, your banners, all of that fun stuff, which I have. I got all my lights and everything on my truck. But yeah, this is a load that I would have definitely took this load, to be real with you. $2,000, and with the DAT you could negotiate. So obviously, you gotta pay for permits and stuff like that. 10 wide, 8 wide, you don't need no escorts for that. But you gotta pay for permits. I mean, I would have hit him with, I would need $2,500 for that load. I would have added at least an extra $500. I would have called this agent, this broker from Landstar, and say, hey, I can pick it up tomorrow. I need 25 on it. They would have been like, kid, I don't have that much on the load, this and that. They always BSing. We would have probably met at 23. 23. Don't ever book a load for the price they have it there. Cause that's the start of the negotiation. Don't ever be like, oh, hey, I want that load for $2,000. Okay, yeah, sure. No, I want that load 25. I want that load 24, 23, whatever, because they're always gonna be like, no, I give you. You pretty much sent to me halfway. But this is a load that's not on the load board for CRST. So if you're not utilizing the DAT, you wouldn't even know this load exists. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I like to use both. Look at this one from Georgia to Kentucky. Let's see, $22.50 on the rate. Must have tanker endorsement. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's the one thing I do need to get. I need to get my tanker because I have my hazmat, my twig, all of that fun stuff, but I don't have tanker. So I am gonna get that tanker. Armstrong, we deal with them, and then CRST also has a list of all approved brokers you can work with. Landstar is on the approved list. Armstrong is on the approved list. ATS, they're not approved with us. We don't do business with them. So a load like that, I just bypass. I already know pretty much a lot of the brokers and who we don't do loads with. Let's see if I was to see what's the closest thing, the least amount of deadhead. Oh man, look at this, Irie Logistics. I don't really know if they're on our list or not, but they're right here in Charlotte. So I could have picked that up from Charlotte to Orlando. I mean, I don't like to go to Florida like that, but if it's like mid-Florida and up, I'll take it. Because I could get out of there with a step deck. Look, $1,400 on 528 miles, step deck. They have it listed as event tent equipment, no tarp. All right, so they got that for 14. If they are on our list of approved brokers that we deal with, which I gotta check, but if they are, and I wanted that load, they got it for 14. I would have called them, and I would have said, hey, I could take that for 18. They would have said, no, I don't have 18 on it. I could meet you at 15, and then I would have said, listen, man, let's meet halfway at least. What's going to Florida. There aren't any loads coming out of there. Let's do at least 1,600. Meet me halfway. And they would have booked it. Trust me. I already know how to talk to these brokers. But that's it, man. These are these are the things that I'm saying, guys. Don't limit yourself. Megacorp, look at this on Megacorp. I've done loads of Megacorp. They're on our list. These are stones. 1-in-1, no tarp. This is pretty good. 268. I mean, I would like it to be a little higher, but a low like this, again, I would have called them 18. I would have hit him with at least 22. We probably would have met halfway at $2,000. But that's a quick next day low. So why not? But these are the things that I'm talking about, guys. Switch, flip flop between low boards. Do one low board for CRST and then do your external low board of your choice. DAT, truck stop. Truck stop is good for the open deck. I had truck stop as well at one point, but I noticed that truck stop and AT, they mainly had the same loads. I like DAT's setup. I think is a better user-friendly setup. Easier to navigate, shows you a lot more info on the screen. Whereas truck stop, their app is not as good as DAT's app. Truck stop, from my experience, is better on a computer. On a laptop, they give you a lot more info. But on their app, they're not as comprehensive and user-friendly as DAT, in my opinion. You could have your own opinion about that. But yeah, guys, that's about it, man. I'm still, it's Sunday. I'm home with the family, so I'm gonna get back to relaxing and chilling with the fam. But I just wanted to shoot a quick video about the low board and actually show you guys the CRST low board and how it works and how you could look for lows for tomorrow, for the next day, for 2 weeks out. And also remember, today's Sunday, guys, so there's not a lot of lows. If I would have done this search tomorrow on a Monday at like 9-10 a.m. instead of 608 available lows, you would have seen like 1,000 and some change. You would have seen a lot of lows, because tomorrow everybody gets in the office, all the agents, brokers get in and start posting their lows. So I'll try to probably shoot another video midweek to show you guys how it looks during the week as opposed to the weekend. But yeah, guys, that's it. Let me get back to the family time, and I hope you guys like the low board. Let me know if you do. I could make more content showcasing the low board at least once a week or so. And if you guys have any questions or any comments about it, just leave it in the comment section. And I'll talk to you soon. We're about to light this bad boy up right now. There we are. What's up, girls?
What's up?
You guys having fun over there?
Yeah.
Guys, don't mind in my backyard. It's a little crazy. Haven't done the yard yet since it started getting warm, but we're doing that next weekend. What's up, girl? Hold on. Oh, we chilling, man. A little Sunday chill. This is so cool. Look.
I'm not around, yeah. It's so very special.
Hey, you wanna sit outside? Bye, mama.
Wish I was special. Let your soul shine, yeah. Shine on and on and on and on till the break of day. Yeah, yeah. Shine till the break of day.
Woo! Cool. Well, we got us a big situation over here. They had this yard not meant for 53-foot trailers. They said they usually get smaller trucks coming in here, but yeah, we had to unload on them in the street. Let's get this done though. All right, guys, we just let me close this up here. We just got out of that we just finished up with that delivery, that lumber delivery. Man, oh my God. Talk about the load from hell, bro. I get over there, as you guys saw, super tight place, super, you can't even turn. There was no way to turn in there, there was no way to back out. The dude on the forklift says, when I get there, he says, oh my God, I didn't know this was coming an entire truckload. I thought it was only like a smaller truck coming in here. I don't know where the miscommunication came from, this and that. It was, but we ended up having to unload everything on the street, like literally on the street. I tried to back in there. I spent like maybe like 35 minutes trying to back in there. When I first got there, I had to blindside back. I tried that and that was a no-go. And then I ended up driving out. It took me like damn near 20 minutes to find somewhere to turn around, come back, and still couldn't get in there. It just wasn't enough space. I've definitely gotten into a lot of tight places, but this was like literally impossible. You needed some kind of small Class B truck to deliver to that place. And yeah, man, I ended up just telling the dude, I said, listen, dude, like I can't, we have to get this unloaded on the street, or this load has to be rejected. We have to send, I'm gonna have to go back to the shipper and figure out, you know, how they can get this off my truck. And obviously I won't get paid for that. I have to call a broker and be like, hey, these guys can't unload me. But you know, I ended up just putting my flashers, my triangles, with the triangles on the front and the back, and I had to untarp in the street. I had to take away all of my straps in the street, and dude just had to just come with the forklift and just lift it up right there and there from the damn street. It was definitely an adventure. It was definitely something that I haven't been through in the past. I mean, I've definitely got unloaded in the street before, but it was like known that it was gonna get unloaded in the street. It was planned for. It was like a job site or something where it was blocked off. But in this case, there was nobody holding traffic. Like it was a hot mess, man. And the dude, so the forklift dude, he's telling me like, yeah, man, you're not gonna fit in here. You know, let's try. But I really thought you're gonna fit. And I was telling him, listen, man, I'll give it a whirl, man. But and then the owner of the place comes in, and he starts complaining, talking about, oh no, we can't unload you in the street. You gotta get the truck inside. Listen, if I pull in, I cannot back out, and I can't back into it neither. And he just started giving me a attitude and a hot mess. I'm like, dude, listen, either we're gonna unload this in the street now, or I'm gone. Which are you? Do you want your stuff off my truck or not? And then he calmed down. Cause that's a problem. That's a problem with a lot of receivers. They always want to hit you with that dumb saying, oh yeah, a lot of truckers get in here. Dude, I just spoke with the forklift dude before you got here. He told me it was a bunch of smaller trucks, those little day cab trucks, the little small flatbedders that come in with stuff. Don't sit here now, you coming in, and you're telling me an entire sleeper 53-foot spread axle is gonna come inside of here. It was impossible. And I tried. I was trying for over 30 minutes to get it in, and it wasn't happening. And I'm pretty good backing. I could back into anywhere, but this was an impossible mission. This is a suicide mission. And I'm not gonna mess up my truck for this cheap ass lumber load. Like I'm not gonna mess up my truck, and I'm not gonna hit nobody and cause a bigger hazard. So I was telling the dude, like, listen, either we're gonna unload this here, or I'm done. You're not gonna get your stuff, and y'all gonna figure it out. And he's like, you know what? All right, let's just get it done. Can you untarp as quick as possible? Get it done. And listen, I'm gonna do this. Trust me. As much as you don't want me here, I don't want to be here. I got other loads waiting. I got a much higher paying load waiting for me, just 40 miles from here. The last place I want to be is stuck in this little ass receiver place. And he got, you know, eventually he got it. He understood. And the dude, then he wanted to be man cool. Then he wanted to be my friend. He even gave me a tip at the end of everything. So listen, I apologize. You know, I had a long morning. That dude gave me $100 tip. So I'm not even complaining about that. I got the 100 cash in my pocket. Then I said, no, sir, you don't have to listen. I understand it's a difficult situation on both parts. You know, you don't have to pay me or give me any tips. Like, this is literally my job. I came here to bring your material. No, you know, but I don't feel good about what I said. I don't feel good about how I came at you. And so I said, listen, I understand, man. We were both frustrated. But that's it. Look, you got your cargo, you got your stuff. The truck is unloaded. He said, listen, man, just please take this. And he gave me, I thought it was like, I thought he was going to give me like $10, $20. When I looked, it was a whole $100 bill. So I was happy about that. That's like the biggest tip I've ever got. I think I got like $20 one time. Another time I got 40. Usually at the job sites. But yeah, man, this dude gave me $100. I'm like, damn, bro, we was almost about to square up and fight. No, of course we weren't. But I'm just saying, like, tensions were building up, and we ended up being cool. They ended up giving me $100 for my hard work. So that's great, man. But either way, man, let me go. I gotta go pump some fuel now, so we can go to the next pickup over in Statesville. But yeah, that was a funny experience, man. Unloading, live unloading, middle of the street. That's one for the books. That was a funny one. All right, guys, we are done, man. We are done pumping some fuel. We are done with that delivery. Man, that delivery was a freaking delivery from hell, man. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys in a little bit, man, but I couldn't even. It was such a small yard and on a one-way street. We couldn't get the truck. Like, the truck physically couldn't even fit in there. But I'll tell you guys a little bit. I'll show you all the footage of that, man. But yeah, let's finish pumping this fuel. Try to see if we'll grab a little bite, and we'll go from there. I'm officially empty. About to go pick up my next load in Statesville, North Carolina. Going over to the Bobcat, or no, Caterpillar. Go pick up some equipment. About tired of all that lumber crap. But yeah, I'll check in with you guys a little bit.